let's start with the $2 trillion American Jobs Plan.
This is great. Don't you love it? It's really good.
Yeah, I love it.
So now we're in full socialism mode. And I was telling my audience on BillO'Reilly.com the other night, I said, look, there's a delineation between Americans who seek information, those who are listening to us right now, and those who have the headphones on listening to Puff Daddy, okay? There's
right.
a delineation, all right? So you have, I would say, half the American public actually absorbs some information in their lives, and half doesn't.
Some, yes.
Yeah. But you got, maybe 100 million adults who have no blanket idea what's happening. None.
Absolutely.
And this is what the far left depends upon. They depend on those people to just knee-jerk and put in the politically correct crew. But now we're in full socialism mode, all right? So I have in front of me, Beck, because I always I want to be well-informed on the Glenn Beck program, the fusion of enlightenment and entertainment. I want to be very, very well-informed. I have in front of me where all of this money is supposed to go. Do you know that there is $10 billion for a civilian climate corps? $10 billion. A civilian climate corps. What exactly might that be?
Yeah, right.
I think what it is they'll hire people to run around individual neighborhoods going, it's hot. It's hot today. It's hot. Okay?
I wonder, Bill, what, Stu, do you remember the name of that civilian corps that I dressed up in lederhosen for when I was at Fox?
No, I just remember the lederhosen.
Yeah, okay. So, but it was on this, and I was talking about what FDR did in the 1930s, and he took this youth civilian corps, and they went out to, help nature and the national parks and everything else. And Obama talked about doing this. I wonder if that's not the promise fulfilled now from President Obama.
Yeah, well, maybe $10 billion. And then there's another $20 billion. See, this doesn't mean anything. People go, 20 billion, 20 trillion, who did care? Well, when the dollar collapses, just remember this conversation. All right, so $20 billion on bike lanes and pedestrian safety. All right, this is a federal bill. Aren't bike lanes supposed to be in the county realm? Isn't it, we have a bike lane in Nassau County where I am, but Biden is now designating $20 billion for bike lanes?
Yeah, we need bike lanes. We need bike lanes on those interstate highways, and only the federal government can do those bike lanes. Yeah. This is part of the Agenda 2030, the Sustainable 2030 Act from the United Nations. The bike lanes are part of the Great Reset.
But what all this really is, for those who have the headphones on, okay, is this is a full socialism play that the federal government in Washington will come to your county, your town, and tell you exactly how many bike lanes you can have, what kind of bikes you can ride. All right? This is what they want. I thought it was really interesting that after all of the stuff was broken down, that Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, and you got to give her credit, she's not a liar. She's not a deceiver. Okay, the Biden administration basically they deceive. All right, they'll never tell you the truth. But Ocasio-Cortez will. She goes, I hate this bill because it's not enough. It should be 10 trillion, not 2 trillion in infrastructure or 3, 10. Because this is what the socialists want. The government runs everything.
Everything.
Now, they have that in Europe. All right, they have that in Europe. And be happy, everyone listening to O'Reilly and Beck, or Beck and O'Reilly is his show. All right, right now, be happy you don't live in France because you can't come out of the house to get your croissant. It's locked down for 4 weeks. Why? Because the government of France is semi-socialist. They couldn't possibly develop a vaccine to do anything. So they don't have any vaccine. So therefore, the COVID 18th wave has swept over France and Germany and Italy and the Netherlands and on, because they're socialist governments, whereby here in the capitalistic system, President Trump picked up the phone and said to the CEOs of Pfizer, Moderna, Johnson & Johnson, whatever it may be, you get that vax, we, the federal government, will buy it from you to the tune of billions of dollars, and we'll sign the contract right now. Presto! 7 months later, there's the vax. So this is how capitalism works. You see, there are financial incentives to develop worthy things. Socialism never works because the government is so screwed up from top to bottom, it can't even put in a bike lane. A bike lane that would cost, I don't know, $100,000 by a local situation will cost the federal government $2 million. They can't do it. So
well, the reason why they can't do it is because you are so far away from decision makers. You know, when your town is involved, I can go to the town mayor. I know the mayor. You know, the mayor might be my neighbor, and I can go and go, what are you doing with all of this? This is way out of control. But you can't go to the government. And so the graft and the waste is off the charts. I don't know if you noticed this, Bill, but unions are mentioned 24 times in this plan.
I know. I mean,
this is again, you want to talk about the cost of things.
Well, number one, the federal government doesn't care. So they get the money. I don't care if it's spent efficiently. We don't care. I mean, that's you going back to the Pentagon and the $400 John seat. Okay? I mean, I don't care. All right. But number two, you get a situation where the federal government is basically saying to the American people, trust us. We're going to run your life from the time you're born to the time you die. You don't need to really do anything. Just give us all your money, everything that you earn. Just turn over 60, 70% of it to us. We'll take care of it. Okay, get on a plane and go to Venezuela. See how that works out. Go down and visit Raul Castro in Havana. See how they're living down there. Yet,
see how France had a. Go ahead.
80 million people voted for Biden. Yes, Biden lied to you. Yes, he said he was a moderate. He's not. He's nothing. He's agnostic. Biden is nothing because he can't concentrate long enough to know what the deuce is going on. If he were a part of this conversation between me and you, Beck, if he were the third, and you said to him, hey, Mr. President, with all due respect, you're breaking the bank here, all right? You're going to tax the country into a recession. Do you have any clue about that? He'd fall down the stairs just from that question. I mean, it's just crazy.
So if you look at France is really bad. They tax their millionaires with a 70% tax, and the millionaires left France. They left. Yes. They had to repeal that.
They didn't have to go for it. They just got on their bikes, rode into Monaco. All right? Monte Carlo.
Well, they could because they have very nice, government made bike trails. So
yeah, but there's no taxes there. So all of the French said, okay, we're going to move from Nice to Monte Carlo. There's no taxes there. To you, goodbye. And there's Macron. So what I'm worried about is that we are so distracted. We Americans are so distracted that we are going to allow a wave of horror to occur before the backlash comes. There will be a backlash, and the border is the beginning of that, because even the simplest of us, and I'm not going to mention any names on CNN, even the simplest people, all right, have got to see what a catastrophe that is. And here's something really amusing.
Oh, and I don't even think yeah, hang on, but I don't even think we've hit the catastrophe yet. I mean, this is just the border is just getting warmed up. Anyway, tell me something funny.
Yeah, I think poor people drowning in the Rio Grande might qualify as a catastrophe. Call me crazy.
Oh,
I think
no. I agree with you, but it's
the border wall. Yeah, babies being thrown over the border wall. That might be a catastrophe. Okay,
it's still nothing compared to what's coming.
Okay, and I don't doubt it. But here's the amusing part of this. So Biden, he doesn't know border policy. He doesn't know what Trump did. He doesn't know any of that. All right? Somebody told him Trump's the devil. Kids were starving. You have to knock out everything Trump did in the border. And we had Stephen Miller on the No Spin News this week, and he just explained methodically, here's what Trump did, here's what Biden took off. And now we have this. So Biden, his people, basically said, this isn't working out real well. So let's give it to Kamala Harris. Let's let her be in charge of it. This is great. So Harris was no blanket part of this. Harris is smart enough to know, you're putting me in charge of this? So when the press asks Harris, are you going down to the border? Harris laughs. Actually laughed, this shrill Hillary Clinton-esque laugh. All right? Kamala Harris not going anywhere. All right?
Well, her office even came out and said, we want to make it clear, this is not her job. This is not what she's doing.
Right. And then the Biden people go, oh, no, there was a misunderstanding. We're putting her in charge of diplomatic efforts. So, Yeah. And no. She's not going to go down and try to stop people from coming in. She's going to go to Honduras, okay, and give them $50 billion to Honduras. Now, did you notice that the brother of the president of Honduras was convicted of drug dealing in the United States and sentenced to life in prison on Thursday? Did you notice that?
No, I didn't.
Beck!
Are we?
Oh, the brother of the president of Honduras vacations in Miami, which is insane, all right? The feds grab him, charge him with being a major drug trafficker throughout the United States and Central America. The jury convicts him. He gets sentenced to life in prison. This is the president of Honduras's brother, okay? But we need to give that man, the president of Honduras, $50 billion.
Of course, we gave another family that's completely corrupt with brothers and sons. We gave him the key to the White House. Why not give $50 million or $1 billion to Honduras and that president? They just have an awful lot in common, I think. Yeah, I am talking about Hunter. Yeah.
Okay.